Alexander Stone was a man who had built empires from nothing, his name synonymous with wealth and power. Yet on a chilly autumn afternoon, he felt smaller than the pebbles on the path before him, for he was standing at the grave of his only. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? San Michael, a bright light extinguished too soon by a drunk driver 3 years prior. And the world, for all its riches, had never felt so empty until his driver pulled up to the cemetery gates and he saw them. 2 little girls, no older than 7 or 8, dressed in thin, mismatched coats against the cold, kneeling in the wet grass right in front of Michael's headstone, their heads bowed and hands clasped in prayer, and a sharp protective anger flared in his chest, a hot rush of indignation that strangers would occupy this sacred space. But as he strode towards them, his expensive shoes sinking into the soft earth, he heard their small voices carried on the wind, a whispered duet of innocence saying, "Please God, bless our mommy, and please God, tell Michael thank you for the sunshine today, and please, please God, tell Michael's daddy that we are praying for him too, every single day." And Alexander froze, the anger dissolving into a profound confusion as he cleared his throat, causing the girls to jump and turn, their eyes wide with the fear of being caught, revealing faces so gaunt and pale that it struck him to the core, and he asked them who they were, why they were here, and the bolder one, with dirt smudged on her cheek, explained that they lived in the shelter down the road, and their mommy was very sick, and they had no money for food or medicine, so they came here every day after school because this was the most beautiful place they knew, and this grave, with the stone angel and the fresh flowers he always brought, felt like a peaceful place to talk to God. And they had seen his picture on the stone, the handsome young man, and they had started to feel like they knew him, like he was their friend, so they asked him to help their mommy, and then they started talking to Michael's daddy too, hoping he could feel that someone cared. And Alexander felt his knees buckle, not from the cold, but from the sheer, overwhelming weight of their pure, untainted kindness, a kindness that asked for nothing in return. And he knelt down in the grass before them, his Armani coat getting stained, and asked their names. And they told him they were Lily and Rose, and he looked from their hopeful faces to the headstone of his son, a boy who had wanted to be a doctor, who had loved children, who had his whole life ahead of him. And in that moment, a bridge was built between his immense, silent grief and their innocent, desperate hope, and he took their small, cold hands in his and said, "I think Michael sent you to me." And he led them from the cemetery, not back to the shelter, but to his car, where his bewildered driver watched as the great Alexander Stone helped 2 little girls into the leather back seat, and he took them to a diner where he watched them eat, hamburgers and milkshakes like they were the most precious things in the world. And then he drove them to the shelter and met their mother, a woman named Sarah, whose illness was real and whose spirit was unbroken but exhausted. And Alexander, a man who solved problems with money, saw a problem he could finally fix. A problem that didn't involve boardrooms or billion-dollar deals, but involved 2 little girls who had given him back a piece of his shattered heart. And in the weeks that followed, he moved them into a small, safe apartment. He paid for the very best doctors for Sarah. He set up a trust fund for Lily and Rose's education, and he found himself visiting them more and more, drawn by their laughter and the simple, profound truth that they had come to pray for his son and for him, a stranger drowning in sorrow. And one day, sitting in their new, cozy living room, watching Sarah get stronger and the girls play, Alexander felt the first true crack of sunlight pierce the dark cloud that had hung over him since Michael's death, and he realized that the greatest fortune he had ever found was not in a gold mine or a stock market, but on a patch of cold grass beside his son's grave, where 2 little angels taught him that even in the deepest grief, love can find a way to grow again. And he knew Michael had brought them there, a final perfect gift of hope. And if this story of unexpected connection and the power of a simple prayer touched your heart as deeply as it did mine, then please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs a reminder that kindness exists in the world, and subscribe to my channel, Kindness True Stories, where we share these real-life moments of compassion and humanity. Because by subscribing, you become part of a community that believes in spreading light. One story at a time, so hit that like button. Share this tale of two little girls and a grieving father. And subscribe to Kindness True Stories for more. And together, let's keep the faith in humanity alive.